So my name's Dave Parody, as you probably figured out. I've written 9 books on the topic of effective PowerPoint presentations. I'm one of 15 people in North America recognized by Microsoft with the Most Valuable Professional Award for my contributions to the PowerPoint and Excel communities. I've been doing this for over 20 years on my own, and in that time I have seen tens of thousands of slides. You think you've seen some bad ones? Well, it occurs to me that people tend to move through 3 stages when they're using PowerPoint. They typically start here, stage 1. Now, stage 1 is what I refer to as the document stage. So what the presenter does is they write out everything that they're going to say on their slides. They put all the details, all the spreadsheets, all the tables in on their slides. And unfortunately, what this tends to lead to is reading the presentation. Because a document simply projected on a screen is still a document. It does not become a presentation. And people tend to be in this stage for a couple reasons. First of all, they believe, well, I must put everything in. People are going to have to look at this presentation afterwards, refer to it, on a SharePoint drive or something like that. I have to have everything in there because they will not have seen me. And, well, I better put everything in because I need to remember what I want to say. And what ends up happening is we end up creating a document. Now, let me make something very, very clear at the start of the day. I want to separate the tool, PowerPoint, from the output. Okay, the tool, PowerPoint, can be used to create a number of different outputs. One of them is a document. And many people use it that way because it's easier than any page layout program. And if you've ever tried to use Word and get a graphic to stay in the right spot in Word, not move around, it's impossible, right? So people just abandon it and use PowerPoint instead. And in fact, they create portrait PowerPoint documents because they're using it as a page layout program. And if that's what you want to use it for, that's perfectly okay. We also use it for presentations. That's where our focus today is. And then you can go online and you'll see how to use it to create, Instagram posts and all this other social media stuff. So it's very important that we understand the tool does not equal presentation. And for some reason, this has become the common thought. Everybody says, well, if I have a PowerPoint, it must be a presentation. But we don't do that for any other Office program. Do we say everything we create in Word is a memo? No. Do we say everything we create in Excel is a budget? No. We say that's a tool, we have many other outputs that we can create. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's make sure we've separated that. And so one of the things when we're creating a presentation is to understand that's our output. And creating a document and projecting it on a screen does not make it a presentation. Well, people move beyond stage 1, they move to stage 2 when they discover that you can go beyond just text. You can use visuals. And so they jump enthusiastically into stage 2, and they select SmartArt, they select these confusing graphs. They still have all the numbers there because they feel, Dave, I've got to have everything in there just in case somebody asks. Got to have it all in there. And what this stage really to me is it's visual noise. Yes, we've got visuals instead of paragraphs, but it still is confusing to the audience. What I try to do in my work is to move people more towards stage 3 usage, and that's where we're trying to go to today. And that's a stage that I refer to as message focused. Message focused because we have very clearly thought about and planned out the messages we need to deliver in our presentation. We have selected those messages. We have created slides that have a headline that summarizes the message and a visual that illustrates that message for the audience. We have taken all that additional information and we have put it in another way that the audience can access it. So that our presentation is clean, it's clear, and it's easy for the audience to understand the messages we want to deliver. Now, it doesn't matter where you think you might be along this continuum of stages. Our goal today is to move more towards this stage 3 type of usage. And what does this look like in the real world? Well, this is a typical slide we see when somebody is using data. They've essentially copied a nicely formatted spreadsheet onto a slide. And the audience is now having to figure out what's relevant here. It turns out in this case, this is an example from a client, they have retail locations, and they set a goal for each of their stores. And the only thing that was relevant in this particular table was the column on the far right that said, how are each of the stores doing against the goal that they set? Well, the audience gets confused looking at all of this, and if that's really the message, here's what I said, let's create this visual instead. Management team, we've only got 4 of our stores that have met the goal. We got a lot of work this quarter. Is that a more effective visual?